Sydney, 7 News with Sally Bowery.
Welcome back. It's been an extraordinary afternoon in New South Wales politics. Gladys Berejiklian resigning as Premier and announcing she'll quit politics altogether. It came very quickly after the corruption watchdog revealed its reopening an investigation into her conduct regarding her relationship with disgraced former MP Daryl Maguire. For more on this stunning turn of events, let's bring in Michael Usher. Michael, this all unfolded certainly very quickly this afternoon.
Yeah, it did. We use the word bombshell a bit too often, don't we? But this was a classic definition of a bombshell announcement. The drums were beating, Sally, last night. Gladys Berejiklian was meant to give a Zoom conference to a Liberal meeting. That was cancelled. Then at the regular 11 o'clock COVID conference today, it was cancelled altogether, just the details put out. Then came word that she was going to make a, quote, significant announcement in a press release. And then we learned that she was telling party room members that, in fact, she was resigning. And as you can see there, a little bit after 1 o'clock today, Gladys Berejiklian fronted the cameras to make that significant announcement. Let's have a listen.
Resigning at this time is against every instinct in my being and something which I do not want to do. I love my job and I love serving the community, but I have been given no option following the statement that's been issued today. To continue as Premier would disrupt the state government during a time when our entire attention should be focused on the challenges confronting New South Wales. I do not want to be a distraction from what should be the focus of the state government during this pandemic, which is the well-being of our citizens. It always has been and always will be. Notwithstanding the challenges of the last few years and few months in particular, I have never felt stronger nor more confident in my leadership. I have absolutely no regrets during my time in public life. At times we all stumble, we pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off and start again stronger and wiser than before. I have done this many times, as we all have. My only regret will be not to be able to finish the job to ensure the people of New South Wales transition to living freely with COVID.
I mean, the timing of this, Michael, is obviously extraordinary. You have to sort of ask yourself why the corruption watchdog has done it now. Obviously, Gladys Berejiklian is days away from the end of lockdown. Who will be the next Premier? What's happening now?
Look, two contenders instantly, Rob Stokes and Dominic Perrottet. Dominic Perrottet, the Treasurer. I mean, there's no doubt that there's going to be an economic recovery coming out of lockdown, and that is going to be significant. So his credentials there are going to be very, very important. To your point, though, about ICAC, and I find this really interesting, I think out there's going to be a lot of anger about the timing here. Now, I know the purists will say ICAC operates independently. It's allowed to do what it wants when it wants. But surely ICAC doesn't operate in a bubble. It knows that political instability right now is the last thing that New South Wales needs. However, they've done what they've done. Their end result may well be that they recommended she go. She's gone, and she's quitting Parliament altogether. So look, Rob Stokes and Dominic Perrottet, they would be the main contenders at this stage. But who knows? I think you'll find, and as Alex Hart, our state political reporter, has been saying for most of the morning and afternoon, it could be open season.
It's starting to feel that way. There is extraordinary support for Gladys Berejiklian, not just in the community, but also from political leaders, including the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister, Sally, has been very strong because, don't forget, Gladys Berejiklian in the National Cabinet through this entire COVID crisis has been extremely close with the PM. They have been allies. They have fought this together against some of the other states, Victoria and Queensland with their Labor leaders. So huge allies in Cabinet. The PM a strong supporter. And there have been a long list of people today. Normally when someone goes before ICAC, their career's in tatters, they have to go. There's a whole lot of silence.
Yes.
Not today. The PM spoke, and let's have a listen to him.
Gladys is a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time. She has displayed heroic qualities as the Premier of New South Wales. I have worked with her extremely closely, and she has always been a vibrant spirit when it comes to our debates, doing the best for the people of New South Wales. I know how much she is trusted and respected by the people of New South Wales, and I have no doubt that Gladys will always conduct herself in a way that suits the integrity of the office that she's held, and I know how seriously she takes that trust. I've always found Gladys to be a person of the highest integrity.
Yeah, and as the PM indicated there, and you got a sense of it when Gladys Berejiklian spoke, she doesn't want to be going at this point at all. She knows there's a big job ahead. However, she has gone. Sally, I think you'll find that a lot of the close political watchers are going to get very involved in the machinations of factional politics for the next few days and who's going to be the leader. Broadly, in the community where Gladys Berejiklian was liked, with her background, her roots and her strong connection to a lot of people, There's a sadness today.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
She's certainly given the last 2 decades to the community. You
Absolutely.
have to say that about her.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Well, Gladys Berejiklian is not only quitting the office of Premier, but also politics entirely. So let's bring in Paul Caddick now. And Paul, it'll come as a shock to many voters.
Good afternoon. It certainly has. Some people have been telling us they were in tears watching the Premier resign earlier this afternoon. Now, according to opinion polls, her popularity had slipped a little from last year when Gladys Berejiklian had something like a 68% approval rate. A last round of polls said that was now around 56% of people saying that they were satisfied with her performance as Premier. But that still indicates an enduring popularity among voters. A test of that at the next election was going to be in the marginal seat of Penrith. We've spoken to people out there this afternoon, and also in Fairfield that's been so hard hit by this latest COVID outbreak, to get their reaction.
She's had to make a decision. We understand that, but it's very, very sad at this crucial time for our state. Yeah. She's kept us alive and stable, the only state to do that.
As far as the corruption's concerned, I don't really know. I think she's just been sucked into it. I do feel sorry for her, absolutely.
Well, I'm really shocked. I thought she was doing a marvellous job, and I thought under very difficult conditions. I really thought she would have held on. I'm so shocked she's resigned. God, who's going to take over?
If ICAC's ICAC and they've got that power, they should have done it way back a year ago when it happened.
I'm actually very happy, to be honest. Because she's really made us all just stress out, to be honest.
Sad, because we like her. Yes, she's really good.
She was all right. She was doing the right thing, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I think these are personal issues, you know what I mean? She did handle the COVID very good. That's my personal opinion.
She's had a bit of a checkered career, hasn't she? The boyfriend and the, you know, this and that.
Now, when COVID rules allow, there will be a by-election in the North Shore seat of Willoughby, where Gladys Berejiklian has been the local member for some 18 years. Her popularity there is unquestioned. She holds that with a 21% margin. Sally.
All right, thank you very much, Paul Caddick. Well, to other news now, and New South Wales is on storm watch again this afternoon, with a major clean-up already underway after a tornado hit a small community near Bathurst, destroying homes and injuring 2 people. Serena Andaloro is in Clear Creek. Serena, it's had a devastating aftermath there.
Well, locals are shell-shocked after this freak tornado ripped through, and now they have a major clean-up ahead. Where in Clear Creek, this historic home has been devastated. Trees are down, power lines are down. Locals want you to know this was no mini tornado. It was the real deal. Metres tall, powerful, sucking in everything in its path. It's carved a 25-kilometre path of destruction between Lithgow and Bathurst in the state's central west. Residents told us they watched in shock as dark skies spiralled and the twister came straight for them.
Hanging out the kitchen window. If I let go of the bench, I would have been probably out in a paddock somewhere.
How long were you hanging on for?
It was only about 15 seconds, how quick it was.
It hit the house. It just seemed to sit on the house. It took the roof. It just tin flying everywhere. The trampoline went flying. There was just debris flying everywhere.
Well, this tornado is part of a bigger wild weather system which the Bureau has been warning us about for days. And while the sun is out and the skies have cleared, the Bureau says the situation is still volatile. We could still see some storms ahead. Hopefully the worst of it has passed.
New South Wales has recorded 864 new